What is up, comic book readers? Welcome to episode 37 of the Nerd Herd Comic Book Club. If you are joining us on one of the live streams on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch right now, then thank you for participating with us. And if you're new and you don't know who we are, say hi in one of the various chats that we're on right now. And we are a comic book club for people who like to read comics. Every week we take a different story arc or a collected volume that we read along together, and then we gather via these live streams to have a discussion and share our thoughts, views, reviews about the book. We will be asking you for your scores at the end, out of 10 on what we've read. So if you've read along with us, please share those. And this week, at the end of this episode, it's going to be your turn to choose what we are going to be reading next week. That's right, it's that time again. So I think that is introductions. I am Dean, your host, and of course I'm not here alone. I'm joined by my co-hosts, and they are Shane from the YouTube channel Dawn's Comics.
Ahoy, hoy.
We have Scott from the YouTube channel Scott Shelf.
Shemai.
And we have Dean from the YouTube channel Films Nerdmas.
Hello, everyone.
That was confusing. I want to say before we get started, well, thank you for covering for me last week, chaps. You did a great job without me being here.
Very happy you're back.
I didn't cover for you, Dean. Sorry.
You all did really well. I know you had some internet problems and stuff and all that. And I tell you what, then my week just did not feel right. Like I felt out of sorts all week, not being able to come talk comic books with you all.
Well, I'm glad you're back, mate.
Yeah,
me too.
We missed you.
I missed you too. All right, are we ready to talk about what we're reading this week?
Yeah.
All right, so let's remind people we are reading Identity Crisis from 2004. This was written by Brad Meltzer, and the art was done by Rags Morales, I do believe. Is that how you pronounce it? I think it might not be.
It's how I would.
Yeah, I think I just went on, I'll be honest with you, I went on Miles Morales. I was like, it's spelt the same. That's how I'm saying it. Like, so there we go. That's what we're reading this week. If you've read along, I can't wait to get into this one. It's going to be awesome. So let's have a look and see who's joining us then. We have this month in movies. We've got Tom here as well saying good evening, nerd herders. We have Liam here saying hi-de ho. We have Comic Band saying ho-de hi. I love that little thing that they do now. This is the thing that they do. Oh, we've got Caroline joining going de hi ho. This is going to get confusing. We have, I'm just scrolling on down, bear with me folks. We've got Comics versus the World saying evening nerves. And we've got, hang on. It's just jumped on me again, as it does every month. We should time it, shouldn't we? Every week we should go, right, how long is it going to take before the whole thing just kind of like jumps on Dean? Yeah. Comic Band says he cut it pretty close tonight. He finished the last page at 9:25.
Just in there.
Get in. Triple G Comics saying evening all. We have Highland G joining us. Howdy to you, mate. Hope you are this evening. And we have SCC, Stone Cold Comics, joining us as well. And we have everyone's favourite tennis ball. Good evening, one and all. Whose internet will play up tonight? That is the question. Place your bets now. Let's do it. Let's just turn into a gambling frenzy.
Please don't.
We've got John Lock Comics saying hello. Anybody else? We've got Slim in here as well saying hello to everyone. Hi, Slim. Hope you're well, mate. And we have Lorraine. We've got a few people in here tonight. Howdy to you, Lorraine. Hope you're good. There she is. Hello, everyone. Glad to see Dean back. Please don't anyone ever go off again. It feels so odd just having three. I hope you're well, Beth. Thanks for joining us this evening. And I think that's it. Does anybody want to correct me if I've missed anyone?
You're all good, mate.
Yeah.
Nice.
Get in.
It's like you never left, Dean.
All right, then. Shall we start as we usually do? We'll need a synopsis about the book, and that is by the person that chose the book. And this week, that was none other than our man Scott.
Yeah. Yes, I picked the book this week. So, when a Justice League member's wife is brutally murdered, the entire league and every other superhero team join together to try and figure out who did it. And while they're trying to figure out who killed this poor woman, a dark, dark secret is revealed from the League's past that has ramifications that will trickle down for years to come.
Nailed it, mate. I think you did a good job there, and yeah, this is a tricky one. I think I'm looking forward to this more than some of the other ones, to be honest, because I think this is it's going to be a divisive. I've just got my mindset that this is going to divide people. I've got a feeling. All right then, so let's kick it off. I don't know who went first last week because my memory is terrible and I wasn't here. So Scott, do you want to go first this time?
Yeah, I think that's right anyway, because I think it was Bill's pick and then Shane talked about it. So this was cool. I mean, this was only the second other Crisis book that I'd read. The only other one I'd read was Crisis on Infinite Earths. So to read this one in, 40 years in advance, after that one was, it was cool to see what was going to happen. And I had no idea it was going to basically be like this murder mystery kind of book. And I loved it. It was issue 1. I've got to get it out there. Like, I was reading it on a train. And I was telling Shane the other day, like, if I wasn't on that train, I would have properly cried.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of that first issue, I was gutted. And then it just goes from there. Like, that was like, right, I've got to read more because I need to know, one, if this character gets justice, who done it, and then like how does this affect the hero community and everyone else in the whole world, what happens. And I just loved where it went from there.
So let me stop you there, mate, because we've got some comments here as well. We've got Slim saying, love Michael Turner's cover art in this. Oh, yes, man. And we've got Adam here saying, Michael Turner's cover art was gorgeous. Wish he did the whole book. You and me both, mate. So, Scott, what about the art, mate? Let's get to the art. What did you make of the artwork?
Just a quick comment on the covers. My favorite one was the Wonder Woman cover.
Yeah.
It was issue 4. That was awesome.
Yes.
Really like that one. But yeah, the art was great. It's not, it was out in 2004, isn't it? So it's not that far after the classic 90s style art that we've read in the past, and I've learned to love as well. And yeah, I love that. And the colors and the designs of all the characters were great. Even all the lines were done by one person, and to like pretty much nail all of these heroes was great.
Yeah. Phil, how about yourself, man?
Yeah, I mean, similar. I mean, to be fair, the cover art was the best art throughout the whole book. It's obviously the art's still very good, but I almost found that it was purposely dark. Like there was a lot of shadows or something, like and it was kind of a dark story, really. To be fair, in terms of what happened to Elongated Man's wife. So yeah, the art was great. Can't fault it, really. Nothing overly stuck out for me, to be fair, but it was faultless.
Yeah, I think you are right. Dark would be the word for this book. Shane, how about yourself?
I loved it. Like I said, the 7 covers are like 7 of the most beautiful covers, and they're all from one series. And what Scott said with the Wonder Woman cover, I mean, the art inside that issue as well, with her just seeing her from the waist down, so you just see her lasso, or you just see her hands. It was just done so well to keep the focus off of her and on the heroes that we've been following for the story. I think that was fantastic.
Can somebody remind me, which was the cover where you've got them all standing there and they're doing like really suspicious looks as well? That was a good one as well. Yeah, that was a great cover.
Yeah. That's the cover they used for the Eagle Moss hardcover.
Yeah, we got Adam here saying, in general, I didn't like the art, but 2 great moments, the Deathstroke fight and the Wonder Woman interrogation. And SCC saying, issue 7 cover is iconic. Somebody remind me what was issue 7. Was that the Batman one?
Yeah, where he's leaning against the wall and he's sort of...
Oh no, isn't this the one where all the capes are hanging up? That's issue 7, isn't it? Yes.
Oh,
yeah. I think that's the one he's referring to.
Yes.
Triple G saying cover art was great. Not sure about issue art. Sometimes I liked, sometimes I hated it. I kind of agree with that. It looks like we're moving into the kind of the favorite bits of art and stuff. So should we get to those favorite pages?
Yes.
Okie doke. And so let's go ahead with Scott. Do you want to go first, mate?
All right. This was I think it was at the start of one of the issues where Atom's ex-wife was hanging. She was hanging by a noose, and she had called Atom to come and help. And I think what was awesome was the fact that he had turned himself so small he could go through the phone lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then get even smaller again inside the rope, and then expand. And I just loved all these little panels of just the rope just slightly getting more and more ripped apart until he grew so big that he just ripped it. And he's really he's given it a good go. You can tell in that last panel there.
Yeah. I think it was quite clever, because you could have just wrote that in the sense of he turns up, he cuts her down, but they're kind of utilized his power there, and they're like you actually see him as well, don't you? Kind of like jump as a full size man, and then he shrinks in the air. There's several images of him, and then he's in the rope. Yeah, I think that's that was definitely a great page, and Adam agrees as well. He said, actually, I forgot about this page. Great pick, Dean Scott.
Yes, thank you very much.
I just thought this is going to confuse the hell out of people who are just listening to the part. They can't see that we've swapped our names around. Identity crisis.
I think that was such a good page as well, though, because you didn't know, was she alive? Did he get there too late? Was it all in vain? Have we lost another wife of a Justice League member? It was just heart pounding as well. Yeah,
I think I'm going to get to that about the kind of the emotional roller coaster that kind of this was. But does anybody have any comments on Scott's page there?
Yeah, I just like the way Scott had mentioned, the fact that he had to jump through the rope as the quickest way to break it, as opposed to trying to find scissors or a knife or whatever. Just the fact I'll use my powers to bust through it. I thought it was great.
Just get in and grow. Yeah. It was great.
We've got SCC saying the interior art was standard for me. I did find some of the male faces to look at a bit wonky.
They all had weird noses, didn't they?
Do you remember? I guess for our international viewers, you might not remember, but there was a show here on TV called Spitting Image.
Yeah.
Remember the puppets that had the weird noses?
Yes.
It reminded me a little bit of that.
I don't think they're that bad.
Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but Liam here says he agrees with Adam. He wasn't a fan of the art, but the covers were fantastic. I think no one's going to slate those covers. I'll be honest with you, I've been clicking on and off for a long time. I've not met many people that don't like Michael Turner's work. I think it's universally just beautiful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next panel then, and that's going to be you, Phil.
Yeah, I just want for the tragedy, the grief, and this is where Elongated Man's wife Sue, is it Digby or Dibny? Dibny. Yeah. So she obviously died, and he rushed to kind of save her, and he found out obviously she was pregnant. But the thing is that really got me, I stopped this page for a good 5 minutes because. So he had knew that she was buying him this magnifying glass for his birthday, wasn't it? Yeah. But then she knew that he would know, so she thought, I'll surprise him anyway and give the pregnancy test, and then bang, it cuts to this. And I just thought, with having the magnifying glass there, the fact that the sprinklers are obviously steaming down with water, she's obviously being scorched to the point where she's no hair on her head. It's horrific. And then he obviously can't keep himself in human form. His face is all kind of elongated. He just has no control over that. I just thought that was great and really sad. And like
Yeah,
Scott said,
he does have problems controlling his powers, doesn't he? If I'm not mistaken, after the grief. Yeah.
And as Scott was saying, like when I seen this image, particularly the pregnancy test, it's just like, oh, that's. And then the end, it just says, Ralph Dibny, widower. It's like, it's so bad. It's just
stop, man. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Don't start me off again, man.
Yeah, it's definitely I think there's a lot of this kind of thing here as well. And just before I take the image down there, Adam is saying here, he said again, he didn't dig the art here. It's quite hard to look at, but it kind of helps this scene and adds to it being a bit more of a gut punch. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But I think that was a hell of a moment in the book there as well. Before we do go any further, folks, as well, I do we don't do this very often, but we're trying to be good here as well. There is a trigger warning on this episode. Some of the stuff that may come up in conversation may be a bit startling for people. I don't know what you've been through in your life, so just tread carefully while we're having a conversation. I got a bit serious then, didn't I? Whoa.
strange.
Trying to be responsible. All right. Anybody else on Phil's panel?
That page gets. I mean, I've read it before, obviously, but it gets you again because you still. I mean, it's not often heroes lose. You know, when they're running somewhere to save someone, they always make it. You know, it's dramatic and it's exciting, but they always make it. And he just didn't, and it's just so heartbreaking.
Yeah. SEC says it looks like he's melting. Yeah, that's the thing. Like once his wife died, he had problems controlling his. I want to say stretchiness. I don't know whether that's the proper term. That's the better word. Yeah, no, use words, Dean. Proper words.
Somebody knows science.
And Sean here from Slim Comics, he's saying the interior artwork is an eyesore.
I wouldn't go that far by any means. No,
sorry.
It is harsh. Like on some pages, I didn't like the art. So I wouldn't say it's an eyesore, but I can see where he's coming from. To be fair,
this is what I knew. I had a feeling this was going to be divisive. Like everything about this book, when I was reading it, just screamed. There's going to be people over here, and there's going to be people over here. Artwork and writing, like that's. I just got that vibe.
The same problem with the Hikatea. Like the artwork wasn't up to the story standards, the same as the Hikatea.
Yeah, possibly. Right then, let's move on. So we've got Shane. Yours next, my friend.
Yeah, I mean another gut punch. I picked this not just because, I mean, look how awesome it looks, but it also reminded me of The Killing Joke. You know, when Batman goes to see Barbara in the hospital and she breaks down and she's like, save my dad. It reminded me really, like, I really had Killing Joke vibes from that. But also the scene is just heartbreaking.
Yeah. I don't know whether people can see there, but that throughout the book, whenever it was introduced, because there was a lot of narrative in this from a lot of different people, and it kept saying, didn't it? It would say like Clark and Martha, mother and son. Yeah. And have you read that there where it says, you know, Batman and Robin or something, or Bruce and Tim? Orphans. I was like, that's harsh. Whoa.
It's true though. Like, it's just getting.
I have a problem with this page, and it's really simple and silly. Where's his shoes? Like,
I don't know how his clothes off as he ran in.
Yeah,
because he was wearing his Robin costume, and Batman was like, "You're in your costume," so he quickly pulled everything off because the cops were going to be there.
Oh, I get it now. Oh, I understand. I didn't read the book, I promise.
Comic Band saying, "Oh man, yeah, this page got me." I think this was probably one of the big gut punches for me in this. And Chris here from Off My Shelves is saying the amount of narration is the only thing that irked me. Seemed like everyone was narrating. I loved.
He carries on later saying he loved that page, Phil.
Oh, okay.
It's very impactful.
He ran out of characters, of course. There we go. Hang on. Let me get the other part of that message then. There we go. Love that page. Phil picked impactful. There we go. Sorry, Chris.
I think Tim's face in this as well, like it's just so harrowing. Like the look of just everything. There's just so much going on in his face.
Do you know what gets me as well? Like, it's like in a simple thing, like the way he's gripping Batman, like he's gripping him so tightly, like he obviously needs like that bit of comfort or something from Batman. And like I mean, there's no question that this is a great panel, but yeah, there's a lot of grief in this book, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and SEC points out a good thing here as well, and he says, "I love how Batman just looks like an empty cowl, and you can't see him other than the shadow and the darkness." But yeah, I never kind of like looked at that before, but yeah,
Yeah.
that definitely adds to the vibe of it, I think. And I did see a comment here as well from Triple. Have we got any more on this?
No, it's just
No, we're okay to move on from that one. And the reason why I was asking is because Triple G here says, Shane, that's an amazing page, but I prefer the one in the car when Bruce looks at Tim when he's realizing what's happened. And would you believe it?
Hey.
This is the page I picked. I think at this point in the story for me, I felt the fear here, man. Like, you had his dad on the phone and he's like, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. And of all the Batman books I've read, which is probably more of my DC kind of allotted books than anything else, I ain't never seen Batman look that scared of anything in my life.
No.
You could feel the tension, couldn't you?
Because usually when they draw Batman with fear, he's like reacting for like snarled teeth or something, or like look at the Court of Owls, like that we read. Like he's scared there, but he's kind of responding with aggression. Like that's pure unknown fear that is for Batman.
Because it's not for him; it's fear for him. Yeah.
It's like it's someone he's so close with, and he's just gone, "Oh my God, you could be going through exactly what I went through." And because he's so close, he doesn't want that, obviously. So he's like, we've got to sort something out. And it goes from him just looking like terrified to insanely determined in the next panel there.
And then his foot just goes down on that accelerator because he knows he's not going to make it. It's terrible.
That's the thing. It's not like Batman thinks this could happen. I think at this point, Batman knows it's not going to, it doesn't look good. And,
sorry, Shay, go ahead.
I was just going to say, what I don't get about this scene is they know that someone's hunting loved ones of superheroes, and Jack has contacted Oracle, and Oracle is in contact with the entire superhero community. Why did she not get Superman on the phone straight away?
Well, she tried Flash, didn't she?
Yeah, Flash was busy with Deathstroke, but Superman, why didn't you call Superman or Wonder Woman or, someone who can get there at super speed, Captain Marvel, anyone?
Well, rumor is Superman didn't pay his EE bill.
Ran out of credit.
Let's just catch up with the comments here because I can see we've got quite a few in there. They're flicking by quite a bit. We have John Blatt, I think, responding to the narration that we were talking about there. He said, Brad Meltzer writes books, hence a lot of wordy stuff. Yeah, I think he is a kind of whodunit detective crime writer, isn't he, Brad Meltzer?
He's a Pulitzer Prize winner, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think so. We
New York
have
Times bestseller.
Yeah, we've got Liam here saying, addressing Adam there. So it feels very much like all the effort was put into more impactful pages like this one, but either rushed the rest or just weren't as bothered about the quality. So it looks like there's some high points of art in there for people, and then there's some low points and stuff as well for folks.
On that comment there that Liam's saying, and kind of work with the narration, the fact that I'm not a Green Arrow fan and I find him quite boring, but whenever they had all the loads of narration, I feel like it would be a waste to put good art in with the narration, if you know what I'm saying. So I agree.
I had a feeling we were going to go this way with it, with the art and the narration and stuff, because I kind of felt it myself. Let's just do one more comment and then we'll move on and we'll talk about the writing. SEC saying, with the narration, I didn't like how it repeated the plot at the start of each issue, more so for reading it straight through. I kind of agree, but then sometimes in comics, when they do that, for me, I think I have to try and remember these were like monthly books. So they were probably trying to remind people what had happened last month. But when you do read it all in one go, it does get annoying, All right. Any more on this one?
No. Poor Jack.
Can I ask a question actually? So, is this book? And I know now with like the recent kind of DC stuff, everything's in continuity. Is this book in continuity?
No,
it's not. Right?
No, this ended with New 52 when New 52 started. So Flashpoint erased this story.
So Tim Drake's dad's okay.
I thought this was in the weird space where it did didn't it have some references to history in there, because it had the thing about the wizard swapping places with the JLA and stuff as well. I'm sure it did make some nods to stuff that had happened. And even after this, I think there were references to Infinite Crisis. That's what I'd read about it.
Oh yeah, but Phil's talking about continuity now, were you not?
Oh,
Just
I get
like-
it. Yeah.
Just addressing off my Shell's comment about the fact that Tim was the only Robin that wasn't kind of drenched in death. Like, didn't have it. Like Dick Grayson's parents obviously died and stuff. And like, I don't know, is that still a thing now? Is Tim Drake, is his dad still dead in today's DC books, or?
Oh, I don't know, but I do know Sue Dibny is alive again.
Well,
it's comic books, man. Nobody stays dead. We know that. And Highland G is saying that's his problem with the current CW. They are all in the same universe, but never call on each other. So lose battles they should not have. Would make for an easy win if Superman got involved, though. I think that's in reference to Adam's comment there when he said, "Why didn't he call Superman?" Adam was saying, was Superman maybe protecting Lois at this point? Maybe they avoided asking him because he probably would just drop everything and come to the immediate danger. And I tell you what I did like in this about Superman. You know that bit when he's on I can't remember who it was with. He's on the video call with, I think it's with Ollie.
Yeah.
He's talking to Green Arrow, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
in front of me." You're just like, "That's the Superman we love, man!" Right?
Green
there.
Arrow sasses him, doesn't he? He sasses him over the view screen, and then he just appears in his face, and Green Arrow's like,
straight there, like from the video screen, like in seconds, he's just in front of him. I thought it was great.
I really disliked Green Arrow in this book. I thought he was a bit of I don't know what it is. There's something about him I just disliked throughout the book.
Well, I disliked quite a few characters, so let's get into the writing. Let's just say a hello to Sean the noob there, popping in and joining us. So let's get on to the writing then. Scott, what did you feel about the writing for you?
Well, like I said earlier, I thought it was like a really good murder mystery with some other bits sprinkled in here and there. To be honest, I think the other biggest part of the story was how they dealt with Dr. Light and wiping his memory, and then you learning later on that they actually did the same to Batman as well, and you had Ollie as well talking about the fact that Superman hears what he wants and Batman knows what he wants to know, you know what I mean? And it's there's this kind of hint that even though it's all hush hush and secret between these 7 people in the Justice League, it's Superman and Batman probably know what's happened. They're just not saying anything.
Yeah, I think that what they did with Dr. Light was quite good, because I think again, from what I've read, not within this, but articles and stuff after this, Dr. Light was considered a bit of a kind of ridiculous villain before this, and they actually brought some sort of menace to the character. That's what I read. So that's quite good that they were able to do something like that.
Yeah, because he was always getting beaten by the Teen Titans, and no offense to the Teen Titans, but they are a lower tier Justice League, aren't they? So,
well, I had never heard of Dr. Light before this, so as far as I can see from now on, he's just a rapist, I suppose, because he obviously he's trigger warning, like he obviously raped and assaulted Sue in the past, and I found it weird to have this character who I didn't know, complete nothing character, all of a sudden just be this kind of extreme kind of violent.
Have you not seen is it Stargirl, is it, on the TV show? I think Dr. Light's a character in that, isn't he, Shane?
And the Flash as well.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's in that too. Oh, there we go.
She's in,
a woman. Yeah.
Just before we go any further, let's say hello to Alistair, who's joining us. # Late Squad. Happy the band's back together. Triple G here saying Dr. Light is the worst part for him. The story around him was far too graphic and not needed. Right, just before we go any further, I'm going to just throw in my 2 cents here for this one. That particular scene, I'm not averse to things like that. I like a bit of bleak, bad stuff happening in books. I think it's a great tool to kind of motivate conflict along, but I do feel that they didn't handle it right in this for me, personally. I think it happened. I get why they were doing it. They needed something big to be the catalyst for this kind of event. But yeah, the way that they handled it afterwards didn't quite sit well with me. Like we never saw her mention it as a victim. We never saw how she dealt with it as a victim. Like it was just lots of people standing over her, almost going, "Oh well, she'll be all right." Like I just thought it wasn't done in the right way, really, for me.
I took it to that Zatanna would have wiped her memory of it.
That's what I thought. But then even in that stage, that's I think that's wrong as well. If they did wipe her memory, you know what I mean? It's like I don't know. The whole kind of rape scene was unnecessary. I think they could have made him, like you were mentioning, a catalyst. There could have been a catalyst in some other way. Maybe he was obsessed with her and tried to attack her, but didn't actually succeed in attacking her. I don't know. I didn't like that particular.
I get
scene.
what they wanted to do. They wanted to go. They were going for maximum kind of gut punches in this book. That's blatantly obvious. And again, I'm not throwing any blames. Sometimes as a writer, you either hit it or you miss it, and I think you just missed on that one. I think it was a little bit of lazy writing.
Yeah,
they could have written that better if they were going to do it. They could have wrote it a bit better for me.
I disagree. I think it was done so well. The fact that it was completely random. He didn't go up there to do that. He didn't really know who she was. Like he didn't target her. She just happened to be up there. He was up there to do something else. She was there. Back then, he was that kind of person. And they needed, if he had tried to attack her and failed, I don't think they would have reworked his mind. I think the fact that he did it and the fact that he was going to show off with his powers and tell everyone what he'd done, they had to actually rework his mind altogether. And I don't think an attempted attack would have got them there.
No, I totally agree. It's one of those that you've either got to do it or you don't do it. You do something else. And I like I said, I've got no problems that they actually used something like that in the book. I just wish they'd have maybe wrote it a little bit better than they did, or approached it better than they did.
See, I think this was handled a lot better than, say, the Watchmen with the comedian. That scene. This is a lot less graphic and a lot less violent. Obviously it's fine. We don't see the violence as much.
Oh yeah.
So I think that way it was handled for me very well.
I just think because what was his name again? His real name, human name.
Arthur.
You don't get it.
Oh.
Ralph and Sue, they were just such a nice little couple. And the fact that everyone knew his identity and she was okay with it. They've been together for 20 years or something like this here, and it was just a cute little couple who could have a baby. And then all of a sudden, the next day, she is that she's being sexually assaulted. I just didn't like it. I just nothing against the way it was handled overly. It's just I just didn't want that to happen to her. It's I felt.
Just addressing some of the comments here as well. It says, just out of interest, was there an age warning on the book? I'm not sure if it's, but there wasn't for me on the copy I had. And the age warning. It said teen, but again, I don't know whether I'd kind of be happy with my teenager reading this. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Teen's 14 usually. That's the rating. 14 plus.
I'm still not sure I'm comfortable with that for me personally, but I don't know. Would you guys?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I would with this. Like I say, it's not visual. It's not as visual as it could have been. I imagine a book like Saga would have gone a lot further with this kind of scene. So
I'm not. Let me articulate better. I'm not talking about the graphicness of it. I'm talking about the way it was written. I feel like it could have been done better. It could have been written better. So I'm not talking about the graphicness or the shock factor of it. I'm just saying I think that they could have, if they were going to use something like that, which is quite alarming anyway, they could have written that a little bit better. That's what I'm getting at. I'm not on about the graphicness of it or anything like that.
Fair enough.
They needed something big to happen, didn't they?
Yeah.
It needed
totally.
you needed that kind of, you can see the train of thought in how, they wanted that secret conflict in the Justice League. So to be able to get that, they needed to, they wanted to wipe someone's mind, but to be able to wipe someoone's mind, something big enough needed to happen. And that's what they decided to go with.
They didn't just wipe his mind, because they've been wiping bad guys' minds for years. They literally reworked him and made him a bumbling fool that the Teen Titans could take out and make fun of every issue.
Do you know what else I had a problem with in this? Some of the characters. I'm going to come out and say, well, you touched on it, right there. I'm just coming back to you where you said that you didn't like Green Arrow in this. I get what they were going for with this. This book really, the writing of this is to kind of show on a more personal level. This is what I took from it. What happens to heroes when they lose control? So that's clever and good, but I just felt that some of the characters in this ended up just looking a bit like arses. you know what I mean? Like, I just thought, yeah, and I just thought, all right, you've lost control. And they get what they were trying to do. They were trying to say, well, yeah, look, they've got no idea of how to handle this. They've completely lost control. But some of them just became a little bit dislikable for me.
Yeah, like for me, Wally West was the only one with some sort of moral high code.
He was the one that I was annoyed at. It's like, you weren't there.
Oh, really?
Shut your mouth, little boy. Go away. You're not the real Flash.
But like, he's my Flash. Sorry, Scott. But it's just like, I don't know. He had this kind of idea, like you can't do this to people. You can't do that to Batman. You have to tell him. And obviously, he had this kind of like towards the end, this idea that he wanted to say it, but was almost afraid to speak. And he knew Batman was like looking at him because he knew type thing. And I just think that Wally West just for me was basically telling Ollie that he was a arsehole, and I thought Ollie was an arsehole, so good on Wally West.
Well, no, but it's okay to take the moral high ground when you weren't there. You didn't experience this situation.
But this is the thing, he kind of related to the point where, well, Barry wouldn't do this, but Barry did do it, but he was also he was in grief at the same time, so it's almost like they kind of took advantage of Barry as well, because he didn't think Barry would do this on a normal kind of mindset.
John Block Comics here, he's saying he thinks the writing came across a lot like a schlock grindhouse sort of pulp noir fan fiction, but does go on to say still quite liked it though.
Fair enough.
And Triple G saying I really like Wally West in this. Showed him as a very string character. And Adam says, say what you want about Wally, he ain't no snitch.
Snitches get stitches.
Yeah, and SEC here saying the Firestorm moment I felt was so random, just in being in a couple of pages to just explode. Why?
I found that with quite a few of the characters, and this is the thing. Like, it actually reminded me of Shane's quiz. Like, whenever we were playing like No Man's Land and we're thinking the characters' names, like Shane knows them all, like Bolt and the Calculator. Like, who knows these people? Like, who is the Calculator? It's just such a strange villain or hero to put.
I will just say, I don't know where, because I was going to leave it to the end, but just to kind of because I don't know, I haven't gone on and read, so I don't know. But there are a bunch of crossover issues for this as well. So if you have enjoyed this and you want to read on, there's all of your crossover times. You can see there's a Firestorm one. So
only one.
Whether him exploding ties into his run on there, I'm sure it probably will. So that's the list if you want to read on, folks.
And to answer Bill's question, the Calculator is like the anti-Oracle, like he works for the bad guys.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know. It's just I don't like the name. I don't like the Calculator. Go away.
But that's what he was praised. That's what Brad Meltzer was praised for, though. Really, I think in this, he was praised for taking a lot of lesser-known villains and heroes and characters and bringing them into a kind of more modern dilemma and situation. Yeah,
there's a lot of characters I hadn't heard of. To be honest, it was good to learn a few more for Shane's quiz.
Yeah,
and did you know,
I wrote them down.
Did you know that Boomerang's son is the brother of Bart Allen?
No.
Wow.
I do now.
Wow.
There you go. That's why he's got super speed.
I was wondering.
Did we ever find out? Oh yeah.
He was like his golden glider, my mum, and he's like,
no.
Nah.
Oh yeah, I don't think we actually found out who it was. Again, it must be in one of the other issues somewhere, though. Highland G saying Wally is the honesty of the DC universe, where Dick is the hope. So of course he would struggle with it, even if not directly involved. And Comic Bound Adam here saying Meltzer's JL run did the same thing. I really liked it for that. And SEC Boomerang playing with Exploderang Frisbee with his son was a rando moment. Yeah,
it was like a father-son. Weird.
Did we ever find out what was in the box from issue 1? I can't remember. Remember the box that was kind of, they were trying to sell something and never found out?
No, because Elongated Man just buggered off, didn't he? He had to go home.
Yeah, he had to. His wife was
Yeah, there was that boxer, and was it Bolt was injured?
Bolt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
again, that all
fantastic.
kind of seemed a bit pointless. Well, maybe I suppose as a writing technique, it was there to distract the elongated man, wasn't it? It was there.
Yeah.
He was doing something when that happened, but yeah, that
So
kind
we
of
only
seemed a
know
bit-
what he knows.
Yeah. Hmm.
I like that though. I think it's clever. They just, they don't have to spoon feed the reader everything.
I like being spoon fed in real life and in comics.
Yeah, here we go, chaps. This is what I was referring to. John Block Comics has articulated better than I did. He says, do you know that this story was based on 2 old issues of Justice League where the villain swapped body with the villain? I think you mean Heroes there. I think issues 167 and 168 by Jerry Conway. There is a reference in the book. Yeah, there's a
They show the
newspaper.
newspaper, yeah.
That's what I was saying about there are references to kind of like historical continuity. That's what I was on about that moment there.
And Triple G has just told us what's in the box.
Did he?
We did see what was in the box. We just all totally forgot.
Oh yes, it was. It was a suit of
I remember it
armor.
open.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, well done, mate. You clearly got more memory than we have.
They'll join us next week.
I like Comic Bone's message here though. He says maybe we'll find out in an episode of Shane's what's in the box.
Nerd.
And I agree with SCC. It was right. He says bogged. I thought that was some sort of Punisher knockoff. Totally.
Yep,
I thought
absolutely.
it was as well.
He even had the skull on his black T-shirt, didn't he, in the car? Yeah.
Yeah. And Triple G saying, "Keep up, guys." Smiley face. We're trying, mate. We're trying.
I have another issue. Again, maybe I'm taking something wrong from the book, but with a title like Identity Crisis, I thought like each character or hero would actually have an identity crisis. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like they didn't have crisis with their own identity. Essentially, it was the one who was already in the open, in the public, who we all knew who it was, type thing. And they're obviously fearful for their wives and their partners and so on. But like, it wasn't what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting a murder mystery. I was expecting like characters to have problems with like coming out to the public or something, or they've been found out or whatever. And I don't know.
Or like I'm looking at their bank account and going, "Oh my god, someone's taken £200 out of my bank account."
Identity fraud.
Yeah.
I think the good thing about the name is it refers to so much.
Yeah.
Not only Dr. Light, not only the characters thinking that should they be on this side of the argument or should they be on the other side. So there's so many characters in this that do actually have the identity crisis throughout the book.
Yeah, that was a kind of a bit of a negative for me though. At the same time, like it was great, but going back to what some of the folks have said in the chat there, there was almost too much at one point, and it just seemed everybody was trying to narrate that story as well, and that became a bit of a downside for me with this.
Can we bring up the the reveal of the whodunit at the end? Can we talk about how absolute batshit crazy that was?
Well, it is a 17-year-old book.
Whoa. You mean spoil it for people?
Mate.
A 17-year-old book?
They read the book.
Of course we can spoil it. That's what we do.
Trigger warning.
How great was the fake-out twist, though?
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, I really thought it was the Atom. I was like, no, just to get back with his wife. No, that's really bad. And then you're like, no, it's her, just to get back with him. That's just as bad.
It's one of them ones, like whenever you find out, you kind of think, oh, I should have known that because a few issues behind, and they were talking about getting divorced and stuff. There was more to it than just kind of her being there. There was more to it. And that I mean, she's obviously in Arkham now because that's where she needs to be, but she's fucking mental.
Yeah, it was just like how she was like justifying it, and she was like, "Oh, like we're back together, so everything is cool. Like this is what I wanted."
I didn't mean to. I told you it was an accident. What's wrong with you?
Can I ask? Did you enjoy the ending? As in, the reveal and stuff. Phil, did you?
It wasn't what I was expecting, but I still liked it. It's just not what I thought it was going to be.
Shane?
Yeah, the fact that it caught me off guard, absolutely. Yeah.
Scott?
Yeah, it was the last person I was expecting. I'm satisfied with how that ended.
SCC here is saying the reveal was like some Scooby-Doo ending. For me personally, I was I was let down by the. I loved the fact I was so surprised that this was a whodunit, and I was all like, "This is gonna be great," because I love whodunits and murder mysteries and stuff like. I thought it was great. That when that landing come though, this just did not stick to landing for me. I was all like, because we had so many emotional roller coaster moments, like I think as we've termed it, gut punches. The emotions were so high with like Tim Drake's dad and that scene with Dr. Light and a bunch of others as well. When it got to the reveal and they pulled that curtain back, it was almost kind of like, oh, it was his crazy ex.
No,
you know what I mean?
I think it was just so clever to not go with a villain. Like, it wasn't a villain, so no eyes were ever going to be pointing that way. They were going to go through every single rogues gallery before they ever considered anyone else. And the fact that it was literally just an ex-wife, I thought that was fantastic. Like, this massive thing happens because of one woman. I thought that was
again, this is how I knew this was going to be a divisive thing. Because again, I can see that reveal really splitting people down the middle. Even for people who were on board, I can kind of see people kind of disengaging after that point. Let's have a look what people are saying. Liam's saying there was a part of the book where Batman is questioning who benefits, and that was when I realised it wasn't going to be a villain, and I narrowed it down to Jean or Jack Drake. What, you suspected Jack? You got a suspicious mind, Liam.
He does.
Adam saying, I wasn't a massive fan of the reveal. I felt like it was a bit of a stretch, although I do admit I was like Shane, and I was like, whoa, when I thought it was Ray. Oh, okay. I thought it was Ray. Tom saying, I hated what they did. Clear, but hated it. Well, do we have, and we got SEC, cutting up your wardrobe is one thing, but your friends, Jesus Christ.
This is another image that I like, but it was also a bit harsh. Was the image where you see her burning her lamps out, but she's obviously going to kind of burn her friend with the kind of, I don't know what kind of gun it was. They just scorched her. Yeah, and it's just the idea of like her burning her lamps. Like, well, I'm sorry, I've killed you, but I have to do this. Sorry, to hide the evidence. Like, even if it was an accident for a normal sane person, maybe she would admit to it or something, or try and do something to help. But I don't know.
To say it was an accident and then in another breath say, well, I took a flamethrower with me just in case.
Yeah, I shrunk loads of weapons.
Yeah. But not just she took all her guns. Just think she says guns plural in case. Like,
that's the bit to me where I kind of I was, don't get me wrong, I was surprised, but it wasn't a good surprise. I kind of went, oh, okay, but to balance it out, let's just wrap it up and move on to the final thoughts. I did like the little touches in this that you could tell that Brad writes crime stuff, because even the little detail of how she shrunk down and they found 2 little footprints inside Sue. Those little details were great, so I enjoyed all that stuff. All right, let's do it. Just noticed the time, so let's wrap this one up with our final thoughts and scores. Let's do that, and we're ready.
Oh, we didn't get a call. We should have all got our glasses out again this week.
You know the drill, folks. If you've read along with us this week, let us know what your final thoughts and your scores are, 1 to 10. I'll try and catch them all and collate them here. And we'll get an average of what everybody thinks at the end. So, Phil, over to you, mate.
I'll try and keep it short and sweet. I did enjoy the book. There's no question. Like, from the first issue, the kind of emotional kind of investment I had in it, like I enjoyed from start to finish. I didn't feel let down by the reveal, but I do feel like I was expecting something different. There were a lot of characters in this that I don't see their point really, because I get what you're saying. They kind of have a catalyst towards something else, but you could have easily not had them in the book. Again, I enjoyed it. Art was fine. Didn't blow me away, but it was just standard. It was grand. Covers were fantastic. The fact that we spent so long talking about covers, we never talk about covers in the show. It just goes to show that we all wanted Michael Turner to draw the whole book.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was exciting to the point that, I mean, I can't remember her name, but she's batshit crazy, the wife, and I thought that was funny rather than like a reveal. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 6. I think that's fair. I think there's too many things that I didn't like in terms of all the characters. That I know nothing about. I still understand the 3 in court, but what was the point in that storyline? Like them going to court. But other than that, I think 6 is fair.
It's a 6 from Phil. Then Shane, over to you, mate.
I loved this book. I loved most things about it. Yeah, there are nitpicky things, and I thought I had read this with rose-tinted glasses all those years ago, like 17 years ago. But rereading it for the first time in probably 10, 12 years, it still punches you in the gut. It still excites you. Even though I knew the ending, I was still along for the ride, and I loved it. Deathstroke versus the Justice League. What an amazing battle. We didn't talk about that, how he managed to take them all out with so much ease. I loved it.
Yeah.
Because he's that good, and Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman weren't there. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. I know the art inside is not as good as the art on the cover. That's very seldom the case anyway. But this story, you get Detective Batman doing detective work. You get so many characters' lives changed forever. And this has such a ripple effect on the DCU going outwards that it just pretty much changes the entire, line of comic books going forward. And it's just fantastic. And this is my era of comics, and I will read this again, and I love it. So I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10.
Ooh. All right, it's a 9 from Shane. Scott, it's coming your way.
The emotion you get from the very first issue is what took me along this whole story. I was gripped. I was invested. I was just taking everything for what it was and just enjoying the book. I think, like Phil said, needless to Shane then. Like Phil said, the art was just, it was on par for what it is usually around that time and stuff. All that stuff was great. I loved the plot twist. I liked this whole side story with Dr. Light and the magic lobotomizing, and I really enjoyed the mature themes and how they kind of added to the suspense and the darkness and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, so overall, I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to give it an 8.
Ooh, it's an 8 from Mr. Shelf. All right then, let's have a look, see what everybody says then before we get to do my one. And we've got Tottenham Gaming here. How you doing, mate? He comes in with a 9. He loves this one. We've got Coral here. Adam and Coral didn't read it, but don't think we would have enjoyed this one. Glad we passed. This week we've got Job Lot. Comic comes in with a 6. We have SCC saying 5.5, decent concept, slight poor execution. We have Triple G Comics. So though I would hate the reread, but actually thought I would hate the reread, but actually enjoyed it. Some great bits, but overall a bit mixed. A 7 from Pete there. Lorraine comes in with a 7.5 out of 10, only because she didn't like the ending. It is a 7 for Chris. From Off My Shelves, and just scrolling on down. Alistair sadly didn't read this week. He was too busy enjoying Marvel Zombies.
Don't lie.
We've got Tom here from This Month in Movies, 6 out of 10 for him. And we have, I'm just scrolling down, I'm trying to make sure it don't jump on me. Adam here from Comic Band. I enjoyed the murder mystery, the Deathstroke fight, and the gut punch moments, but the connective tissue in between and the end reveal was a bit lacking. 7 out of 10.
Good words, didn't they?
And Liam, some high points, some low points. It was just inconsistent all around. I wanted to like it, but this discussion has made me realize I didn't really. 5 out of 10 from Liam. And let's just say a quick hello to Firehawk, who's sneaking in and joining us as well. How did you, mate? Right. Okay. Oh, no, I'm being told off here as well, just before we do my final thought. Off my shelves, Chris is saying, Dean, we talked about this. He's missed the shelf.
No,
I was your first,
missed
all right?
the shelf.
I was your first.
I personally feel the only way to settle this is a battle to the death. So
Fight
With shelves.
Let's go. Let's go. With shelves.
on a shelf that he last the longest.
Yeah, I'll bring my pointy triangle shelves.
all right, let's get to it then. I'm in the middle of this one. I'll be honest with you. I was looking forward to having the conversation because I knew this was going to be quite divisive. And I love a good whodunit, so I was excited by this. And I think issue 1 really captured me. Like you just said there, I was in from issue 1, and all of those moments, it just did not stick the landing for me. It just did not. Other than that, there was not too many issues. I thought that there was too much narration from too many different people. They could have maybe either done that in a different way or come at it from a different angle. I've already touched on it. I did not like the way that they wrote the sexual assault scene. I think if they were going to do that, they could have written that a little bit better. And I did like the use of the kind of B-list villains and heroes. I thought that was great what he did with that. And I thought the concept was great that he tried to show you on a personal level what happens to all of these characters once control is lost. And like Shane said, I'll even agree with that as well. The ripple effect of this, I think I read somewhere, doesn't this ultimately kind of lead to the temporary shutting down of the JLA at some point as well? I think I read. So yeah, I appreciate all of that in it. But yeah, for me, just did not stick that landing, and I can't get over that. I love a good whodunit, and that reveal, I was like, Brad. Dear me. So for that reason, it's a 7 out of 10 for me.
Amicable.
Yeah, there's a lot I enjoyed. There's a lot I didn't.
Nice.
So, on average, then, everybody that's participated along with us, we have 8 scores from people, unless I have missed any. Let me just double check. No, I haven't. They have given it a 6.6 out of 10.
All right.
Those that have read along this week. And our average, we have given this a 6 from Phil, a 9 from Shane, an 8 from Scott, and a 7 from me. We are all on different pages with this. That brings it in at a 7.5 for us. So we've got like a 1.1 difference between us and everybody that read along this week.
I'm happy with that.
It's quite big. It's a quite big difference, to be honest, isn't it?
Yeah. It is compared to... Yeah, totally. So that what everybody wants to know is, where does it fall on that Nerd Herd leaderboard? So we've got a 7.5. So it
Joint
comes
11th.
in. Yeah, joint 11th. Comes in joint 11th with Skyward.
Nice.
Nice.
How do we feel about that?
I'm happy with that.
I'm happy with
fair,
that.
There we go then.
Yep.
Bye. Okay, there we go. Joint 11th on the Nerd Herd leaderboard. And now we need to decide what we're going to read next week. And that's down to everybody that's still stuck with us and still with us in the chat here. So you know the drill, folks. If you haven't been here before, drop a recommendation in the chat of a story arc that you want us to read. And we'll put it on the spinny wheel. Scott's on wheel duties. And we'll pick one at random, and of course we'll have a little giveaway for whoever we select, and you'll also have an invitation to come and join us on the screen if you want to. You don't have to, but the invitation will be there. So go for it. Drop it.
You've been really fast. Oh my God. All right, here we go.
Witchblade again.
Go away. That's not a serious. That's not a serious one.
Witchblade Volume 2. Oh no, please. No. Let's start having a look through then, and we can have a little chat while Scott's logging them all on. We've got Tottenham Gaming saying Amazing Spider-Man Back in Black.
Ooh, yes.
We've got Coral and Adam. I think they've recommended this one before. Lights, Skin and Earth. We've got Pete coming in with Kingdom Come.
Yes.
It's a good choice.
Yes.
This is going really fast.
Job Block Comics is coming in with Craven's Last Hunt.
Ooh.
We have Stone Cold Comics coming in with Shirtless Bear Fighter. I've heard of this.
I wonder, do people just throw random words in here, we assume they're books, but we've never heard of them before?
No, Shirtless Bearfighter is a thing. Noob comes in with Stillwater. So I think it's Stillwater Volume 1 because that's still ongoing, isn't it, at the moment? We've got King in Black from Alistair. We've got Firehawk asking for body count. We've got Comic Bound coming in with We 3. I think he's recommended that one again. I think Adam's recommended that before. We 3. Tom's coming in with Why the Last Man. I'm presuming Volume 1 again. Chris, Off My Shelves. Akira. Black and white, right to left. No Western style.
What are you doing to us?
And we got... Yeah, I believe so. We got Liam, Batman, Creature of the Night. Have I missed any? I'm scrolling on down.
Definitely.
On. Yeah, I'm just getting to Beth now. Self-storage. I believe Beth's recommended that one before as well, hasn't she?
Someone has.
Yep.
It's definitely come up before. Right,
There
I've
you
got 13 altogether.
Whoa.
Okie doke.
Is that... Can we just confirm it? So with Tottenham, Triple G.
We need some kind of elevator music. Then.
14.
I'm not counting Fuzzy Dunlop.
No, hang on.
No, we're not doing Witchblade again.
Has Fuzzy not put in a proper choice?
No.
No.
Then do
Not
we have
Witchblade.
It's like not Witchblade. You can have Witchblade Volume 2 if you want, buddy. It's up to you. Just confirm with us either way.
10
Oh,
seconds.
I think he actually does.
Oh, he means Volume 2. Oh, that's fair. Okay.
Does he mean Volume 2 of what we read, or does he mean the original run of Witchblade?
Ooh, quickly, Fuzzy.
Confirm with us, Fuzzy, which one you want.
Like Storm Core's that comment.
Yeah, like the version he read instead.
Right. He wants volume 2.
He wants Volume 2. All right, then. Volume 2 for Fuzzy.
Hey, great. Right, so I got 14 altogether. Do you want to share the screen now so people can show me? I can show people that I'm shuffling it.
Yep. Which screen do you want? It's really weird because you're actually my name.
It says
I'm like, that's not me. What's going on?
I'm going to give it 5 shuffles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And we're going to spin the wheel. Good luck, everyone. Here we go.
See if
Wheel
Fuzzy
of
comes up.
morality. Turn.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Oh, nice one.
Oh, yes. So we've got Joblot Comics coming in with Craven's Last Hunt. There we go.
Nice.
Perfect. That's there we go. I'm looking forward to that already now. That's great.
Fantastic.
Well done to Joblot Comics. And as we said, we have a little giveaway every time we do the spinny wheel. And for this cycle, I've wanted to commemorate Pride Month. So we are giving away the entire run of single issues of Alters. You can't really see there, can you? I'm getting mad.
Tilt it down. That's it.
Move it around.
Tilt it
Yeah,
down.
so we got all 10 issues of Alters from Aftershocks Comics. There's the pile right there. So that's the complete series. So if you're a fan of X-Men, I think you'll like that too. So there you go. That's what we're giving away
Awesome.
for this
Nice.
episode. So well done to you. And of course, Joblot, you have an invitation to come and join us next week. So if you drop me a message on Instagram and confirm your postal address, I can get that sent out to you before the weekend. And just let me know if you do want to come and join us for next week's episode, and we can do that.
Join us.
One of us.
There we go then. And it looks like a few people are quite happy with that pick as well.
Yeah.
We've got nice, happy with that pick, says Adam. Fuzzy Dunlap, clapping hands. Let the hunt begin, says SEC. Triple G, great story. Looking forward to next week. And Joblot is already confirmed. He says, wow, I would love to join in. Excellent. We would love to have you, mate. As I said, drop me that message with your post address and I'll get that out to you before the weekend. There we go. I think that all that is left to do, really, is go around. People can let you know what they've got going on this week, and then I'll drop some links for some recommended channels, and then we will disappear.
Phil was definitely getting his wave out.
Yeah, I was scared of this. Yeah.
Phil,
So I'm looking for it down there.
bit premature there, mate. Come on.
That's me.
What you got going on?
Basically, I mean, I went live today, the first time going live, so that video's on my channel, so at least I'm putting something out there. I have promised a video every week so far, and I haven't got it out, but tomorrow I'm going to drop a review of That Texas Blood. It's coming tomorrow, I promise. 3 weeks in the making, it's coming tomorrow.
Well, you've heard it here. He's promised now, so we can sue him if he doesn't release it.
I believe it when I see it.
If I don't do it, someone can take my spot in the Nerd Herd. That's how confident I am.
Wow.
You watch your net's going to go out tonight and you can't upload anything?
You know what, Phil? That's disgusting. Some things are sacred and you shouldn't gamble with them.
Sorry, please don't hit me. Love you. That's me.
Shane, how about yourself?
I have a What's in the Box coming out tomorrow, and I can assure you it is not all Buffy stuff tomorrow. It's a variety of things, so that's good at least. So yeah, that's me.
And we are recording the quiz this Saturday, aren't we? So people can expect that soon.
Yes, depending on how much I have to edit out of you lot.
Oh dear. Anything else from you, Shane?
No, just What's in the Box.
Okay, Scott.
Nothing on my channel in the next week, but next Tuesday I will be joining Whack Comics for a live at 10 p.m. GMT. It's going to be a late one, but it's going to be a good one. So yeah, that's all that's coming from me.
Nice.
Epic. When's your next comic airwaves?
The 26th. Yeah, 26th, I think. Yeah, 10 days.
Okay.
And then hopefully...
I'm asking you now. Usually you tell people every week, and now he hasn't said anything. I better ask him.
I've been so busy. Like, it's like we're planning it and we're getting stuff ready. It is happening. But like, yeah, well, you know, while I'm here, I'm sure a lot of people here have had a message from me about joining in on the answer. Do get a video back to me within, by Sunday, because that's the deadline. And if you send me a video, it'll be entered into the competition as well.
30 seconds long.
There you go.
Yeah, please.
There you go. All right, then, folks, let's wrap it up because we're coming up to the 1 hour and 10 here. I am not doing much. I'm going to be recording the quiz with Shane, as he mentioned. Other than that, I'm not doing. I will see you next week. But the recommendations for channels that you might want to go and check out, I say it all the time. If you like what we do, you might like these YouTube channels as well. I have a lot of comic book content. So the first channel I want to recommend for you all is go check out Bill over at Comic Mag Musings. Bill is a super nice guy and worthy of your time. I'm just getting the other link here for you. Second link I want to drop here for you is the comic board. Some people might be familiar with the comic board already. This is one of Highland G's friends as well. They do like lives together and do reviews and stuff. I always find them super interesting. It's nice to hear, you know, like a good, proper, deep conversation about books and stuff. And those two always like hit it right on the head when they do it together. So go and check that out. And lastly, I would recommend you go and check out. You see him sometimes in our chat. He's not here this week, but he's sometimes around. But go check out Andy over at Perpetual Comics as well. Go and say hi and subscribe and do the thumbs up and all of that YouTube stuff that happens. There we go. Those are the recommendations. Highland G is saying here, the comic board is awesome. I highly recommend his channel. Thanks, Dean. Yeah, totally. He's awesome. And Highland G as well. Go check out Highland G. Because like I said, the two of them do the reviews. They are really good. All right then, folks. That is episode 37 done and dusted. We were a bit divisive on that. We had a bit of a gap. But it was a fun conversation nonetheless. And next week, folks, we will see you for Craven's Last Hunt.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
What are we doing? I wasn't here last week. I've forgotten what we do.
It's usually around this time. we try and find something to get it out. But you know, what do you want us to get out?
Well, I'm certainly not getting out what you think it is, but I tell you what, I will get out. I'll get my ways out.
Hi.